ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world show made for the fans by a fan. I am your host, as always, Richard Tiemann. This is the award-winning Fan Show. That's right, everyone is a fan of something, and we've got something for every fan tonight. Fans of the Arizona Rattlers rejoice as I talk to one of your newest signees, Big Van Heule. That's right, Kenneth Van Heule is going to join me, a good buddy of mine. We catch up, see how he's liking hot Arizona. I almost said hot Atlanta, but that's not right. That's not where he is. And then we're going to do another follow-up to our time at CGS with Deshawnte Lloyd. We had a lovely conversation with him. Very funny man, very charismatic. Any NFL team would be very lucky to have him. So we're going to hear from both of those gentlemen coming up in a little bit. But first, of course, we must do our due diligence at the top of each show with today's headlines. And I'm pretty sure I just punched my microphone on that one, but it's okay. Headlines, of course, brought to you by Dynamite Enterprises. I almost said Dynasty Enterprises. I'm looking at a thing posted by NFL's Instagram that said Dynasties, not Dynasties Enterprises. Dynamite Enterprises. Ethan, of course, does all of our custom work for us at the Fan Show, with the exception of championship belts. That is up to the good guys of Undisputed Belts. So for Undisputed Belts, if there's anything that you feel that you need a belt for, fantasy football, regular football, office pool, sibling rivalry, whatever, they can do a belt for you. But Dynamite Enterprises does literally everything else. So if it's not a belt you need, if it's something else, stickers, custom apparel, promo items, embroidery, trophies, stickers, banners. I said stickers. I've got a lot of stickers. They look fantastic, by the way, and I've given away a lot of stickers, too. We've got stickers for all 6 divisions, which has been great. I was able to go and give some of our music division stickers to the guys in the Elephant Gun Riot, Hell's Bells, and Real Big Fish, and so hopefully they're traveling well on their, travel cases for their equipment and whatnot. But I love having the stickers. But maybe it's not stickers you need. Maybe it's custom beanies, hats, gloves, socks, tablecloths, which I have, which is awesome. A drop and repeat backdrop, or so many other things. You need to hit up Ethan at dynamiteenterprises.com or reach out to him directly, Ethan at dynamiteenterprises.com. And the headlines: we are 15 days away from the start of the 2019 Indoor Football League season, which is why Kenneth joins me tonight. So 2 weeks and a day. It's going to be a good time. I am very excited for this season. I think it'll be one of the better seasons. We've got the addition of 4 teams, 2 that came over from other leagues, and another 2 that are brand spanking new expansion teams. And let's give it a little rundown here. We have, of course, returning to the Indoor Football League will be the Arizona Rattlers, the Green Bay Blizzard, the defending, reigning, and undisputed champion Iowa Barnstormers, the Nebraska Danger, and the Sioux Falls Storm. Rebranded, though, returning from last year under a new logo and look and colors and all that, will be what was the Cedar Rapids Titans is now the Cedar Rapids River Kings. So they'll be back with a new look. What we got from other leagues: the Bismarck Bucks and the Quad City Steamwheelers. Heard great things about both these teams. I actually got to see Bismarck play against the Bloomington Edge a few years ago for the first Fan Show tour. They're a solid team. I mean, they were then. I'd imagine that they are still, if they're going to be in the IFL. Takes its competitive level very seriously. And the Steamwheelers, they didn't have quite the season they wanted to last year, but they packed the house and they played good football. It's really all that you can ask at this level. And then brand spanking new, never played a down before, we will have the San Diego Strike Force and the Tucson Sugar Skulls. Kevin Guy's team. You may know him, head coach of the Arizona Rattlers. How does that work? Well, once kickoff happens, this in 2 weeks and a day, Tucson Sugar Skulls are pretty much going to be their own thing. Kevin Guy's just going to be the guy that signs the checks. I mean, that's my understanding of it. I knew that there was going to be some eyebrows raised at that, but I think it'll work out. I think it'll work out fine. I don't think there's going to be any shady stuff. So, February 22nd at 7:05 Central Time, which is 5:05 Pacific Time, or 8:05 Eastern Time, depending on where you are in the U.S. listening to the Fan Show from, we will see 2 new teams to the IFL as the expansion San Diego Strike Force take on the newcomer Quad City Steamwheelers. So that'll be a good one. And then on the 23rd, we got a doubleheader, Bismarck Bucks at Nebraska Danger. So we'll see another new team. And then Sioux Falls Storm against the Cedar Rapids now River Kings. Both of those are at 7:05 Central, which will be 5:05 Pacific, or 8:05 Eastern. And then 24th, wrapping up opening weekend, Arizona Rattlers will take on the Green Bay Blizzard. And that will be at 3:05 Central, which is 1:05 Pacific, or 4:05 Eastern. And week 2 will start off on March 1st. We'll talk about that, obviously, when we get done with week 1. We'll continue to get hyped for week 1. Iowa will not see action in week 1, nor will the Tucson Sugar Skull. Wow, that's going to be tough to say week in and week out. Iowa will not play the first week. Reigning champion. I don't know if there's any correlation with that. And neither will the Tucson Sugar Skulls. There we go. Got it. Wow. Yeah, I don't envy their play-by-play guys at all. Hopefully they're practicing right now. Hopefully they've been practicing. The NFL, of course, the offseason starts now, but the AAF, their season starts this weekend. We've been talking about that all week long. I had a fantastic conversation with Fabian Guerra last night, a member of the Memphis Express. Their season will kick off after the season opener, which will be between the San Diego Fleet and the San Antonio Commanders. And then as part 2 of the doubleheader, the Atlanta Legends and the Orlando Apollos. And you can catch the action, CBS, NFL Network, and TNT. I believe that this one is on CBS. Yeah, CBS Sports, Saturday night, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Mark your calendars. It's going to be a lot of fun watching the Alliance of American Football. So the NFL, as I mentioned to you, I was checking their Instagram. They were saying dynasties. 2012, Alabama, but not the Patriots. And then 2014, not Alabama, but the Patriots. And then 2015, Alabama, not the Patriots. 2016, not Bama, but the Patriots. 2017, Alabama, not the Patriots. And 2018, not Alabama, and the Patriots. So I guess they're saying that they're basically taking turns. That is 3 championships for those 2 teams in the last 6 years. That's crazy, man. 3 apiece. 3 apiece. That's absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, trying to see here. Julian Edelman, his performance, 10 catches, 141 yards, and his MVP performance at the Super Bowl. I believe he's a Hall of Famer. I really do. In music, not much to report. Elephant Gun Riot has a show at the Knitting Factory towards the end of the month, I believe February 22nd. Yes, I've got tickets right here. If you'd like tickets, reach out to me if you're in the area. February 22nd at 8 p.m. With Everybody Loves a Villain as well. That'll be a good lineup, good show. And then, let's see, in the robotics world, I believe I mentioned yesterday that BattleBots has announced that they will have a event April 12th through 26th, although they are not saying it is officially Season 4 on Discovery. We're still awaiting that official announcement, and as soon as I know, you will know, because I have been waiting very patiently for it, as I'm sure all of you have too, you bot fans. Wrestling, not a whole lot to report. It's kind of that quiet time. They're going to do their build for the Elimination Chamber, which they will crown the first ever women's tag team champions, that's long overdue. Very, very long overdue. There have been, I think, 3 other titles have emerged since the shake-up or the evolution or the revolution for the women, since they were no longer divas and were women superstars. And that's just way overdue. It really is. But good on them for doing it. Don't forget, if you're in the Pacific Northwest area, there is a fishing tournament at Diamond Lake this Saturday. It starts at 7. Weigh-in is at 5 p.m. Perch fishing tournament. Should be a lot of fun. It is freezing cold up here, and now everybody wants to go ice fishing. It's just like, my goodness. Like, it got super cold, and I get that's the best time to go ice fishing because you know that the ice is thick and sustainable, but it's like, it's just so cold. So very, very cold. And that's going to do it for our headlines. I think we got to everything from around the world. Pop culture. We got the Lego movie coming out tomorrow. Lego movie Part 2 comes out tomorrow. So enjoy my conversation with big man Kenneth Van Heule of the Arizona Rattlers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, joining me now, Big Van Heule, the man, the beast, the legend. Kenny, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing pretty good. Been a while since we saw you in Texas, but where'd you finally end up landing? I heard you went from sunny weather to even sunnier, hotter weather.
Yeah, I ended up signing with the Arizona Rattlers out here in camp, fighting for position.
Oh, wow. So you, I know that there was some talk about Maine. Luckily, that didn't go that way since they are on a hiatus for the season. I know that Dean would have loved to have had you, and I wish Dean the best because he's a good line coach, and so hopefully he finds work. But the players in my mind are top priority to find homes because you guys, it's there's a window, and for some of you guys that window you might feel is closing. But here you are, you signed with the enemy. At least that's how I was going to see it. But
yeah,
a good home nonetheless, man. They're going to compete. Looks like they're serious about it if they brought you in. How do you feel since you got there? What's it been like your first time with an organization like the Rattlers?
I mean, definitely coming over to the dark side. It's definitely different. There's a lot of good talent out here. They brought in, a good group of players. So it's a constant battle, every day during camp, to show what you got and to win that 25-man roster spot.
Yeah, it's certainly heated up as far as the competition goes. I just found out that Matt Barrett from Green Bay a couple of seasons ago is signed on as a quarterback, and I don't say the quarterback because they still have Jeff Ziemba coming back and Verlin Reed, and in my mind, all 3 could be, and all 3 have been starting quarterbacks. I mean, my God, they say if you have 2 quarterbacks, you really don't have one quarterback. You have you got to figure out who's your guy. You have 3 quarterbacks, so you don't really have a quarterback yet.
Yeah.
Have you seen anything that would sway who you think is at the head of the running for the QB position right now?
Honestly, that I would have no idea. I mean, all the quarterbacks that they brought in, they're all doing, the best that they can do. And I'll fight for a spot too. And it's from what I've seen on film, it's going to be a battle until final cuts. So all 3 of them, are pretty good.
Yeah, and last year they kind of went through this as well because they signed Verlin Reed, who was the quarterback of the Salt Lake Screaming Eagles and had a phenomenal season. A great athlete, incredible quarterback. And they brought him in, and it looked like because Cody Sokol was going to go and play overseas that they had their new guy, the new man under center. And then right up until game 1, Kevin Guy said it was still undecided. And people were like, what are you, crazy? Like, who's this Ziemba guy? Well, he was the Fan Show Rookie of the Year is who that guy was because Verlin got hurt. And I was at that game, and it's so heartbreaking to see, you compete the odds, they may not be in your favor, but not necessarily against you either. But you've got like 50-50 shot to get the nod to start, and then you do, and then you go down with an injury. And he was a great supporter, great backup QB for the rest of the season. Ziemba did a great job, and now they've brought in a third guy. So I mean, Rattlers know how to pick them, man, at just about every damn position. So I'm glad you're there. What's your vibe from Coach Kevin Guy? It seems like a very tale of two coaches, going from a man like Dixie Wooten to a man like Kevin Guy.
Yeah, he was he was definitely excited to see me, come into camp and everything. And, he said he was going to be on my butt, since we beat him 3 times. So, definitely a little crap talking right there, but, he's doing everything professional as possible, making sure every guy stays healthy, plays smart, practice like professional, but still every day come with a high motor and constantly, learn the stuff and don't have any mistakes, because the more mistakes you do, the less chance you have making the team. And he encouraged everyone to play as many positions as possible because, like everyone knows, it's only a 25-man roster. So,
yep. It is, and it's crazy to think about because, all off-season long up until August when preseason starts for the NFL, who's going to make the 53 of the 53? I mean, you guys are dealing with a roster half that. Some guys don't even suit up. If you get an injury at a position, you may not have a guy on your depth chart that's suited up, ready to go at that position. I mean, that's sort of the razor's edge that you guys ride at the arena and indoor level. It's crazy. So you got to be your best. You got to be healthy. You got to stay healthy. And, last year, this time, you and I were talking. You were going to go to Omaha. And then when the season started, you weren't feeling how you thought you were going to feel. You weren't as happy as you had expected to be. And I said, well, hey, go to Iowa. They could use a guy like you. And you go and you win a championship. And then here you are now. You're going to play for the Rattlers, who it seems like, unless further notice, they're always going to be in that conversation as far as a championship contender. So what do you feel at this point? Let's start with at the arena level, at this level. Is there anything left you have to prove after last season? Or is this just playing because you love it?
I mean, I still feel like I still have to prove myself, just because, even though I did win a championship last year, I still have to prove myself to be, the top dog and, to get to where I want to be. I still have to come out and literally dominate every single day, every single play, just so I could still have that chance to move up. Granted, winning the championship, that's all, fine and dandy. But if you're not dominating on the field and your coaches, don't really see it and the scouts don't see it, then I'm going to be stuck in arena, forever. Not saying arena is not bad. I love it. I love the fans and everything. But every player's goal is to move up to CFL and NFL. And so every coach tells you have to dominate your position, dominate every play, and show that you're a beast in this league and that you deserve to be with the top dogs.
Is there still that I'm trying to think if it's like the word for it is stigma or whatever you want to call it, but is there still that thing that looms around a player where you go through and you win a championship, but people might think that it was a fluke that you were able to do that? Like, would winning a second championship prove anything differently than winning your first one for you, or is it more just about making sure that you've performed at your absolute best to help get your team there?
I mean, I think it'll be a little bit of both. Like, if I were to make this team and then we go win a championship, the fact that I win a championship last year and I win another one this year, and if I show on film that I'm dominating and helping my team get to there and doing what I have to do on the field, I think it'll up the what's the word I'm looking for? up my stock, I guess is what I'm trying to say,
Fair
and
enough.
get more eyes on me since, I'm winning 2 championships 2 years in a row
Because
with two different teams.
some people will say that some championships are flukes or one time because
Yeah.
every domino that needed to fall a certain way did, and there was maybe a key injury on another team late or at the wrong time, or something happened. Last year, that wasn't the case, though. I mean, you guys got the best Sioux Falls team, the best Arizona team. I mean, there wasn't, other than Verlin Reed's injury in the first game of the season, there wasn't a whole lot of stuff that went on that made you think, well, if he's out, then their hopes are dashed. And so I feel like you guys definitely should not be considered a fluke as far as that squad from Iowa that won the championship last year, even though we are going to see 4 new teams added. Some might say that, the road to a championship is easier through 5 other teams as opposed to 9 other teams. But I don't see it that way. I really don't. And, I hope that nobody puts that over your guys' heads. But you're going to go and you're going to give it your best. The AAF, obviously another potential landing spot for you. They're going to get started this weekend. Are you going to watch that? Like, are you going to be taking down notes and reaching out to GMs if you don't like what you see?
I mean, I'm definitely going to try to watch it. We do have a scrimmage this Saturday, so I believe we'll be done to where, I could watch it. But yeah, I mean, having the AAF here in Arizona also, and then finding out that 2 of my former college coaches are both with the Arizona Cardinals team. So, I mean, it just all played out to where it'd come out here. But I mean, I will for sure, after watching the AAF games, I will for sure try to get the GM's information and, hit them up because, I mean, just like I said, going from indoor, especially from the Rattlers and Barnstormers up to AAF, it just makes their program look better. It makes the coaches look better, and it makes me look better because I'm constantly moving up.
Yeah, everybody wins. I mean, it's you don't get much better than that. And I know a couple of guys from the indoor and arena level that are going to get their shot with the AAF this weekend. Talked to one of them last night, Fabian Guerra. He was a wide receiver from Carolina Cobras. And, it's crazy to think that it's taken this long for something like this to finally happen. People always scoff at the idea of a farm, a.k.a. spring, a.k.a. developmental league, whatever the hell you want to call it. Like, that's what we're going to see this Saturday, and that's what arena and indoor has been doing for the last decade, and it's crazy. But I think for you, even if it's one season, I've seen you play. I know how good you are. You have dominated at every opportunity that you've been given at your position, and for you to not get a shot at AAF, NFL, CFL, even XFL, I think would be just an incredible injustice. So hopefully your time is right around the corner. But I know for you, you'd probably be tickled pink if you got a call from the XFL.
Oh yeah, definitely. I would be ecstatic to get a call from that, just because Vince McMahon, I love wrestling, and that could be another door to open for me to possibly get into my childhood dream of being a wrestler.
Yep, and a lot of the guys, their prime was early 30s to early 40s. So I mean, it's all about your conditioning, staying in shape, making sure that you're dieting and eating right. And I know that you do, as long as you stay away from the Whataburger. But
yeah, true.
Oh, but man, I look forward to this season. I want to wish you luck. I feel like you don't need it, but of course, you don't want to jinx anything. So I hope that you find yourself as one of the guys on that 25, and of that 25, you're one of the starters, because you definitely. I can't think of a whole lot of linemen that do it better than you do. So Arizona's a good spot for you, man. I'm looking forward to this season. I think it's going to be very competitive. Watch out for Tucson, man. They are definitely building their roster. They're going to be a rival of your guys', and I think it's going to be fun football this season.
Yeah, and I definitely have former teammates that I've played with that are on that roster, so it's definitely going to be interesting.
Yeah, they're pretty stacked. I saw some of the signings, and then, of course, their coach, former Barnstormer coach, gets his first crack at head coaching, Mr. Coleman. So I think, they're not messing around as far as an expansion, and that's probably largely in part due to Kevin Guy and wanting to think, this isn't just some hobby for me. I want my other team to compete too. But hey, man, try to stay cool in Arizona. I know it's going to be like probably 104 when you guys practice out there, but do your best, and we'll talk again soon. But take care of yourself, man.
All right. Thank you so much. You too.
Alrighty.
Uh,
One more big thank you to Big Van Heule. That's my nickname for him. If I ever make it to WWE as like a manager, like a Paul Heyman guy, I'd want to manage Kenneth Van Heule. I think he would dominate in WWE. I really do. So I've already got my nickname for him. Already got sort of his persona, his character, which I realize is entirely up to him. But hey, why not? I did a little footwork for him. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Thank you, Kenneth. And thank all of you for tuning in. We got one more interview for you. And don't forget, IFL, 15 days away, the season kickoff. If you aren't able to listen to the show live, and my apologies for not doing the Facebook Live beforehand. There was just too much stuff that came up. Got home a little late than I expected. But we're still here. We're still broadcasting. If you were smart, which I hope that you are, and you went ahead and created a profile and followed the show on Spreaker so you can be notified when I go live, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But if you can't listen live, then I suggest you go and subscribe and download the show on one of the many platforms in which the Fan Show is offered. iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and of course, Spreaker.com. And if you need notification as far as all the happenings in the world of Fan, the Fan Show, and everything else, all 6 divisions, follow us on Twitter at FanShowOfficial. Like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/FanShowOfficial. And you can also keep up with us visually. The Fan Show. That's the handle. The Fan Show. On Instagram. We have a YouTube channel, so any video content, you are more than welcome to go and subscribe there, but we also share the links to that on our Facebook and Twitter page. Website is about to be relaunched, so stay tuned for that. But here is Deshawnte Lloyd as we do our follow-up from the College Gridiron Showcase. Enjoy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, joining me now, a member of, formerly New Mexico State, but he is a NFL hopeful. We had a chance to chat with him at the College Gridiron Showcase. It is my man, Deshawnte Lloyd. How you doing?
How you doing, man? Blessed to be back on the show, man. Blessed to be back on the show.
You guys were so much fun to not only watch play, but also get to know in these interviews. And you just had one of those radiating personalities that, if a team picks you up, they're going to have a guy that they're good for their media days, their like fan get-togethers, and just really anything. And I feel like, that's just you, man. You are just full of fun and everything in between.
Yes, sir. Yes, I forgot to even tell you that my nickname is Skittles. Kind of, no, for real. It kind of represents my personality, man. It's just an outgoing person, man. Just an outgoing person.
Well, I guess Skittles is better than Bubbles. So.
Oh yeah. It actually traveled with me from my two junior colleges that I attended, and then finally made my way to New Mexico State, where it traveled. It traveled with me as well. So.
All right, man. Well, okay, we got Deshawnte Skittles Lloyd on the phone with us now, and hey, you guys. You were at CGS. A lot of you said for the same reason. It was because you wanted to exhaust every opportunity and resource available to you to make sure that you did everything you could to get to that next level. And I wanted to follow up with you guys because, it's weird to think about that for you guys that play college ball for 3 to 4 years or however long you're there. And then if you guys get drafted or go as a free agent and then get picked up by a team, like where you're at right now as far as what you did with CGS and then what y'all do with your pro days and the combine, it's like that's the only time that those events are going to happen because everything else beyond that, beyond like a rookie season, I mean, it would be kind of same story, different year. But this is the only time this kind of stuff happens. Like what has it been like for you? Since the start of the year, obviously with CGS and now getting ready for, I imagine, your pro day, combine, like what's been going through your mind? How's things been?
It's been a very good experience. I can say a little bit is overwhelming because right after I left, right after I left the CGS, me and one of my teammates we traveled down to the Tropical Bowl, and then after the Tropical Bowl, I had like a week off, and then I shot down to Atlanta, Georgia, where I am now, just start training. But overall, man, it's just been a very fun exciting experience just to meet new people, just seeing where I'm at, stacked up against other guys, getting out and seeing, other defensive tackles and seeing, it's good seeing where you at. Talk to a few scouts that was definitely an amazing experience to be right there and realize, you're this close, just realizing that, man, it's definitely a great experience.
How have your nerves been? I know for a lot of you guys, you're all kind of handling this transitional period differently, but I mean, for some of you guys, I don't know if you feel more strongly one way than another as far as like, you feel, fifth or sixth round, that's all me. Or, I got to put my energy into making sure that if I go undrafted that I've got the best film out there and my agent and we can hit this free agency thing running. Like where's your mind at? What's at the forefront and what are you trying to kind of pin, for another time as far as emotions go?
I just been thinking. I haven't really pinpointed a round that I'm suggesting, and I'm just basically just focused on getting my body stronger. As I'm going through the process of my pro day and looking at different guys' times that performed last year in the combine, looking at their times, and trying to match it up with mine. I've learned that my times that I recently, tested on was, well above theirs. So I'm kind of like excited to see what I'm capable of doing on my pro day. And I haven't, I've been training for about 2 weeks now. So just in that 2 weeks span of time, I've made a lot of progress. But I think I should be good around fourth, fifth round.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad that you have confidence, and I certainly hope that for you as well. What's been some advice that you've gotten, either before CGS or since your time at CGS, that I don't know, maybe was unexpected or that sort of stuck with you as far as going into this home stretch before the combine and then, of course, the draft?
What was the first part of your question? I'm kind of.
I was just wondering if there was any advice that you've gotten that's really stuck with you, really resonated with you, that maybe you weren't expecting or just you've kind of clung to as far as, not necessarily a mantra, but just you keep reminding yourself every day of that advice. Like, yeah, I got to do this and this and just keep going.
One of my good friends I went to high school with, Ian Thomas, he got drafted by the Carolina Panthers last year, and I kind of looked for him for different tips, and he's basically telling me, keep your body strong through this process. Just cut out all the nuisance, cut out everything. If I have anything I have going on, just cut it out and just try to get your body as strong and as fit as possible. One of the things that one of the coaches, I can't think of his name right now, Coach Yum Yum, I think. That's what we call him, Coach Yum Yum. He, one of the things that resonated with me, that he told me, was just keep working on your hands, and that was one of my weaknesses. I felt as though I needed to work on going in. So for him to see that and show me different moves while I was at the CGS, it really kind of resonated with me, because not only do I see it, and I feel like I need to work on it, someone else of his caliber is able to see it. That's one of the bigger things that kind of resonated with me through this process. And also when I talked to a Ram scout at the college gridiron, he made me aware that we know everything. We will find out everything. So not that I did lie he was just saying, for you and your other friends, you may be talking, tell them to keep everything that they have and did in their past, keep it up front, be real with us. That's one of the things he said, be real with us, because we definitely probably already know. We just want to see if you going to tell the truth. I think that was one of the biggest things that kind of stayed with me, talking to him.
I could definitely see that. They want you to be honest and upfront, because the last thing that a team wants is to, invest in you or about to invest in you, and then something comes up, later, and now they got to do damage control. Nobody likes damage control, but you seem like a guy that probably doesn't have, really any skeletons in the closet. Unless it's just a big bag of Skittles. But of course, there could be worse things. But I think, if I may, I've been getting to know players for 4 years now. And if there's one piece of advice that I could give, that I don't know if it's going to help you with NFL draft scouts or stock or landing on a team, but I think it's more advice just for life. No matter what you do, no matter where you end up, just be you. Make sure that you are the best version of you that you can be. Don't try to hide your personality or to be something different or to be somebody else. Be you, man. That's the best thing that you can do, especially at this stage of life. So I don't know where I rank on advice to take to heart as far as going into this chapter of your life. But I just wanted to throw that out. Just be you, man. I think you're a great guy as is. No reason to do anything different.
I definitely appreciate that advice. I'll definitely put that in the bag, man. Definitely put that in the bag. I kind of seen that at the college gridiron from the guys that I knew previously, that I seen at junior colleges. They wasn't themselves, they was just too tensed up, just because of the amount of pressure, and they knew if they did this or did that, they'll be looked at different or criticized. So I can definitely see why you say that.
Yeah, and it's something that I've observed over the years, and I've seen a lot of guys who have gone undrafted, and all they want is an opportunity to compete. Maybe they got hurt at just the worst possible time, and so what would have been a shot they never ended up getting, and you see them kind of. Their personalities go through kind of this spin cycle where they have a bigger chip on their shoulder than they need to. And I'm not saying that a guy shouldn't be competitive and shouldn't go out like he's got something to prove, but I'm saying don't lose focus of who you are at the core. Because in the end, once it's all said and done, you got to go back to being somebody, and you got to do something different. Maybe for you, after football, you want to be a coach, you want to be financial advisor, maybe you want to do stand-up comedy under the name of Skittles Lloyd. Who knows? But
you never know. you never know.
Always be you, man. And I get it. The guys, they're tense. This is a tough time. You want to make sure that you leave no stone unturned. But I think that the more that you guys are you, the better off that you'll be just in the grand scheme of things. So from me to you, I don't think you've got anything to worry about as far as your personality. It's great. Conversations that you and I have had have been fun, very relaxed.
Nothing but laughter.
Nothing but laughter, my man. So for you, I think it's blue skies ahead of you. How was the Tropical Bowl? I saw that your man Ron Latson, he had himself a day there. You guys have a good time?
Yeah. Oh, it was a wonderful event. Beautiful weather. Beautiful. I actually got a tan for the first time in a few years. Got a tan. Went back, and I didn't realize it. People were like, man, you got a tan. I'm like, man, stop playing. You just damn funny. I look in the mirror. I'm like, oh, snap. I got a tan.
I got a tan.
But all around, man, it was a great event. Some great coaches out there, especially the D-line coach that we had. Just his knowledge that he brought to the game was was just crazy. Some things I've never even heard of. Different moves that I was able to learn just in that little span of time with him. It was just great. It was a great all around event. Again, the weather was beautiful. I can't. Just I can't get over that. That's one of the best things that that stood out to me at the tropical bowls of weather. I was right off sitting. I stayed like right off the beach. It was great weather and great coaches.
Now, not knowing what the future holds, but knowing obviously what it was like for you, is CGS something that you would recommend for a future you? Somebody coming out of a college like a New Mexico State that wants to get a leg up on life after college ball.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. Oh, most definitely, yeah. I would recommend myself 10 out of 10 times. 10 out of 10. One of the differences in the Tropical Bowl and the CGS Bowl was that, the practices was very different. At the CGS, the work that we had, it was very good work. The scouts was able to see what they need to see while we didn't do as much, if that makes sense. We didn't do very much, but it was good work. The drills that we had at the CGS, they were good as well. The scrimmage that we had were good as well. I just overall think the CGS was a great event versus the Tropical Bowl, just because the amount of banging that we didn't have to do at the CGS versus the Tropical Bowl.
Fair enough. So, good experience. Definitely would recommend it to future generations, and I think you guys did a fantastic job. I certainly enjoyed getting to know you guys, and he is Deshawnte Skittles Lloyd from New Mexico State. He's looking for a home, NFL. If you're listening, how could you pass up on a guy with a nickname like that? I think it screams endorsement deal, and you guys could give away free Skittles for every touchdown the big man scores on those.
Everyone, and also I forgot to mention the amount of exposure that was at the CGS. I don't know how I forgot that. There were so many scouts there. There was so many scouts. I mean, you had, if you just did the littlest thing, you could have got seen. That's one thing. That was great. There, the amount of exposure. I seen teams that had 4 or 5 scouts. Step out of it. I never seen that many scouts all at once. We had scouts that come to our school, but it'd be each one for each individual team. But there, it was like 5 or 6 scouts, for one team.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. Crazy, man.
Oh, crazy times. But hey, it looks like everything that you have, that you can do has been done or being done. You're going to have your pro day. There's going to be the combine, and then there's going to be the draft, man. And I will be ecstatic, to say the very least, to hear your name. I'm going to be watching close. I hope this is not the last time that you and I speak. Hopefully you don't get too big for the fan show. But, man, best of luck to you, really. And I will talk to you again soon, and hopefully I'll hear your name called on the 2019 NFL Draft.
And I appreciate you having me anytime. And I'll never get too big, man. I never forget where I started from, man. Never forget where you started from. That's one thing I'm big on. Never forget where you started from, man.
All right, man. Well, hey, you take care of yourself. Have a good night.
I appreciate it.
And thank you one more time to Deshawnte, a.k.a. Skittles Lloyd. I tell you, if he doesn't make it in the NFL, 1, that would be huge injustice. But 2, I think he's definitely got a career in stand-up or just being that guy. Hey, you hear from Skittles lately? Yeah, he's doing good, man. Chasing the rainbow. Oh, it's all laughs, all smiles, all fun and games until what, Fan Nation? You butt fumble. So hopefully that doesn't happen to Mr. Lloyd or Mr. Van Heule this upcoming year, 2019. We're only in February, but the wheels are turning. Things are in motion. And speaking of in motion, we got a lot of stuff planned for the fan show, including we're going to continue to bring back the guys that we had from CGS, including even some guys that we didn't get the chance to sit down with while we were there. There is an open invitation. Anyone that was at CGS that would like to be on the fan show, please hit us up at Fan Show Official on Twitter, Facebook.com/Fan Show Official. You can message me there. You can even message me through Instagram, the Fan Show. And then, of course, you can email me, Richard at thefanshow.com. So, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for this Thursday edition of the Fan Show. Last one of the week. Until next week, hopefully we've got all new headlines, we'll have all new guests, and we'll have all new fun and adventure on your favorite home for all things football and nonsense. Until then, best of luck to you and yours. Enjoy your weekend, and remember, it's all fun and games until you butt fumble. Good night, folks.
Do you remember the time that Mark Sanchez ran into his own player's butt? That was funny sports.
Thank you for having me on the show, man. I love the Fan Show.